It's our spring sports spectacular. Lacrosse, baseball, softball, and even rugby. All next on Varsity Voice presented by SFBN. Catholic League and the team that everybody's talking about. One final thought. Let's get a big, bold prediction. Welcome to another edition of Varsity Voice presented by SFBN. I'm your host, Bluestein, and Frankie. We have a lot of spring sports to cover. It's finally here. But before we get into that, some surprising news over the weekend. Robert Coleman, the head of the Office of Athletics in the School District of Philadelphia, fired. How about that?
Yeah, I was really surprised to hear the news, especially because Robert Coleman has been with District 12 since day one.
Yeah, he's been with the school district for a long time, started District 12, got Philly into the PIAA. He's still the chair of District 12 for now, but we'll see how that develops and we'll see what happens. So very surprising and interesting news over the weekend. Now, getting right into the spring sports, lacrosse is really the sport I wanted to talk about first. It's growing, it's huge in this area, and we have some really good teams, and it starts with the boys in the Interact, Malvern Prep, and the Haverford School.
Malvern and Haverford have definitely flip-flopped the title for the past 5 years. Last year, Malvern lost at the Haverford School, but regardless, they are still two of the top best schools in the Interact and two of the best in the country.
Yeah, two of the top 10 in the country, at least at the end of March. And Malvern Prep just beat a good Garnet Valley team over the weekend, 11-10. So it should be a very interesting matchup on April 12th when those two teams face off. And we're going to have that live on the Sports Fan Base Network. So make sure you go to our website and check out information about how you can watch that game. Now, in the Catholic League, when you're talking about some of the better lacrosse teams, you really think about LaSalle and St. Joe Prep. Really no change this year.
Yeah, except St. Joe's Prep actually has a new coach this year with Sean Delaney. They lost to Radnor last year in the state championship, but there's a very good chance that LaSalle and St. Joe will meet later on down the road. Yeah,
I think they will meet in the Catholic League championship game, and whoever wins that game will have a chance to make a nice little run in the state tournament. Now, in the suburbs, speaking of Radnor, they are the defending state champs, but kind of a rough start this year.
Yeah, not their best first game. They lost to Upper Dublin 16-4. It wasn't a bad loss. Upper Dublin is a great team, but as a defending state champ, you want to come out on top and stay on top.
Yeah, head coach John Beezer, very good coach. I'm sure he'll get his team back on track. I'm sure they'll be in the mix. Conestoga should be in the mix as well. Garnet Valley, we just mentioned, who lost to Malvern. CB East also should be a team in the mix as well. And switching over to the girls side, when you're talking about girls lacrosse in this area, you have to mention first Agnes Irwin. They are a very good program.
Yes, they are the top 10 in the country. They're defending PASA champs and Interact state champs.
Yeah, head coach Jenny Duckenfield, a very good coach. No change this year. Agnes Irwin is the team to beat in the Interact. You've got Episcopal Academy. Springside Chestnut Hill might make a little run as well, but Agnes Irwin, they are the team to beat. Now, in the suburbs, a lot of very good teams as well.
Yes, you have Garnet Valley. They are nationally ranked as well, and then they are the defending state champs for the last 2 years.
Yeah, last 2 years won the PIAA state championship. Conestoga was the team that lost to Garnet Valley last year. They should be in the mix. Radnor, they're in the top 25. Springfield Delco, also a very good program on both the boys and girls side, so they should be in the mix as well. So should be a very interesting season for boys and girls lacrosse in this area. But when we return, we're going to switch to a sport that may not be as popular in the spring. Check it out next on Varsity Voice presented by SFBN.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Bucksmont Indoor Sports Center is the area's largest indoor sports and event center with over 78,000 square feet of playing and expo surface. We offer year-round programs for toddlers to teens, as well as an extensive adult league program in a variety of sports. Celebrate your birthday with an unforgettable party. Choose from Nerf turf tag, bubble soccer, or a variety of activities for a party everyone will be talking about. Bucksmon is the first and only facility in the area to offer bubble ball soccer. See if you have what it takes to beat the bubble. Visit our facility, conveniently located in Hatfield, PA. For the love of the game, it's Bucksmon Indoor Sports Center.
I got the personal attention I needed, I had a lot of options when I graduated, and as far as I'm concerned, this is my dream job.
Ryder prepared me for my NBA career, and I also got the education that I need for life after basketball.
I had 6 teaching internships while I was at Ryder, and right after graduation, I started a career that I love.
Are you ready for prom? Well, SFBN is. We have partnered up with several local businesses to offer our high school viewers discounts on major prom-related purchases. Clark's Premier Limousine for transportation, the Men's and Boys Store for tux rentals, LB's Cuts for men's haircuts, In Good Hands Salon for hair and nails, and Dress Up Time for prom dresses. Go to www.sfbnprom.com to receive your promo code today. Welcome back. Rugby is recognized worldwide and is becoming more popular in the U.S., especially here in Philadelphia. The Nomads are the first public league team, and to learn more about their program, we sent our own Lyle Bowden out to the field.
Rugby is a sport that is becoming more popular in the States and even here in Philadelphia, and you have brought it here in Philadelphia as the first public league team. How did you get started with that, and tell us a little bit about that?
Of course, it wasn't just me. I just had the idea. I had a lot of help with a lot of teachers who played rugby like myself in the past. That was a long, long time ago. And, you know, I knew our kids would be great at it. There's a rugby community out there. They have helped us out big time in getting started. We had, at the beginning, we weren't, sponsored by the school district. Now we are. One of the big things that they always said I was the godfather of the team and everything. I always like to think of it that, we're the counter offer to the offer from the streets that our kids can't refuse. So we always look at it that way.
Coach JB, tell us about the game of rugby, the history, how it started, and what it has evolved into today.
Well, the game of rugby started, I believe, the mid-1800s at the rugby school in England. They were playing, the way the story goes, from what I understand it, they were playing a game of soccer, and somebody picked the ball up and ran with it, and the guys didn't like that so much, so they tackled the guy, and next thing you know, from there to now, we decided we could make this a game, so rugby was born.
So rugby is your thing. If somebody knows football and they're interested in getting involved with rugby, what would you tell them specifically, like the differences of the two and maybe what some of the similarities are?
The one thing I know with kids that come playing football, mostly like linemen or like, football's a very categorized sport, like this is my job, this is what I do, I'm a blocker, I'm a runner, I'm a thrower, I'm a catcher. Whereas rugby, everyone's a tackler, everyone's a runner, everyone passes the ball. So you have an opportunity to, on one play, make a tackle, get up the next play and score. Well, a lot of these kids from football that come to play with me never have had the opportunity to score. So that's one of the big things I like about rugby is I get to run with the ball now, I get to score the ball.
That's awesome.
A really important part of rugby is that it's really about kind of humility and teamwork.
Of course.
It's not about you scoring, it's about your team scoring. Absolutely. It's very much a game of communication and teamwork because you don't have time to act like a goofball.
Right.
You don't have time to argue with your teammates because the plays are constantly moving.
Yeah, how do you feel it's gonna better these students in their futures?
In so many ways, I think that there's an athletic piece, an academic piece, and a personal piece to that. Their academics, we have tutorial every Monday after practice, so the boys are actually going to be practicing today, and then we're going to go to the library and they're going to do some schoolwork. Personally, I think that there's something to be said about the camaraderie in a sport like rugby, forming bonds with each other that other sports really don't often have the opportunity to do. And last but not least, I think that it gives them a positive outlet for a lot of the things that they have trouble with in their life.
Now, when you come across someone like myself, I know nothing about rugby. I don't know anything about rugby. I know nothing about rugby. Tell me the fundamentals about the game.
Well, Lyle, don't worry because you're not the minority in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, not a lot of people know the game, but that's what we're here for today, right? Rugby, number one, is the toughest sport you'll ever play. You get a mouth guard. That's it. You get a mouth guard and your strength and your bravery. Starting off, the very first thing that a lot of people need to know about rugby is that the passing is a lot different than what you normally see in other games like football. It's something called a lateral pass, which means you're going across your body and the receiver has to be behind the ball. The reason for that is to create space on the field, but also for the receiver to be able to burst through to the ball, to increase speed, to be able to run past the tackler. That would probably be the first fundamental rule of rugby that a lot of people have a tough time getting used to.
Okay.
Unlike football, a lot of rugby is very close play. So tackling is extremely important in order to make sure the flow of the game continues. So you get low, you put your shoulder in, you wrap, and then you drive through the person. That's probably the second fundamental. The third is a ruck. So a ruck is what you do on offense to maintain possession of the ball, but also on defense to try to get possession of the ball. A lot of times you see people go to the ground, and then you see their teammates step over the person on the ground. And it forms kind of a bridge.
Okay.
So what the offense and defense are doing is they're pushing over the ball to try to get the ball to come out for the scrum half to pick it up and get it out to the back line.
Okay.
The only thing I can say is to say, who wants to be the guy catching the ball on a kickoff and 15 men are coming down to tackle you and nobody can block? And you have no helmet, no pads on. And about 12 kids join. 12 kids that were tough kids that want that. They love that kind of thing. It's excitement.
It's a beautiful game. It's a growing game. Don't let what you feel it to be barbaric or whatever the case may be cloud your thought. It's beautiful. It's 15 people on each team working in harmony with each other. If one person doesn't do their job, something to give, and the whole, you'll let everyone else down. So it's about building up your brother and being successful. So it's something you hear most teams, such ours, will say as well, is 15 as one, meaning that you have 15 people on the field, but you're all working as one unit. So it's beautiful that way.
There's definitely a physical piece to this game that's really, really important. I mean, you definitely can't be afraid of getting hit, and you can't be afraid to hit somebody. But the minute that you do, you feel this kind of adrenaline rush that you probably haven't felt before, and it just instantly makes you fall in love with this game.
Break it down loud. Go. Ready, North Free Nomads on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the sports fan-based network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Pop Quiz is brought to you by Gear Up, a federally funded program designed to increase the number of students who are prepared to enter and succeed in post-secondary education. Gear Up provides early college awareness and academic support to students beginning no later than 7th grade, following them through high school graduation. For more information, go to www.philasd.org. Welcome back. It's now time for our pop quiz, and for our baseball edition of the pop quiz, we bring on our SFBN analyst, Tyler DeGiacomo. Tyler, thanks for coming on the show.
Nice to be back a second time. Baseball is my sport. I'm ready to go.
That's right. Failed the first time. You ready to pass this time?
Let's see what happens.
All right. It's time for the pop quiz. We'll start in the city. Who will win the Philadelphia Catholic League? A, Newman Goretti. B, Archbishop Wood. C, LaSalle. D, St. Joseph's Prep. Or E, other.
I'm going to go with Newman Goretti. They lost 7 major contributors last year, but still bring back a lot. Ethan Pritchard going to Wagner, also the third baseman Nick Diamore going to Wagner. Got a big transfer in Jeff Siaco, goes to Paul Six to high school, now coming to Goretti, going to Western Kentucky. So with Siaco and Pritchard, it would be a great 1-2 combination to go through that Catholic League.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to say Newman Goretti as well. I love the way Ethan Pritchett pitches and getting the big transfer, and I'm sure that helps. And a little bit of revenge on the Saints' minds as well with Archbishop Wood winning last year. I think Newman Goretti will have the upper hand this year in the Catholic League. All right, let's go to the private schools now. Who will win the Interact League? A, Malvern Prep, B, Penn Charter, C, the Haverford School, or D, other?
I'm going to go with Penn Charter. They have a lot of speed, a lot of depth. 5 outfielders that can all contribute, led by sophomore Mike Ciani going to Virginia Tech. They also get Matt Gorman back from an injury, big right-hand starting pitcher. So I think Penn Charter has the depth, pitching, hitting, and fielding-wise, to win the championship this year.
I really thought a lot about this one, but I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say A, Malvern Prep. I think the Friars just have a ton of talent starting at the top with Chance DeFebo. This is a team, along with Penn Charter, I think that will really be neck and neck at the end, but as of right now, I'm going with Malvern Prep, the defending champs. All right, let's move outside the city now. The best baseball team outside the city is blank.
I'm going to go with Wissahickon. They got a lot of depth, a lot of D1 talent there, led by third baseman Alex Tappan. He'll be great in that lineup for new head coach John Bernhardt, who I played baseball with growing up, went to Chestnut Hill College. Wissahickon got a lot of revenge on their mind, lost to Council Rock North in the second round of the states last year. Could be a good dark horse in that District 1 there.
I do like that dark horse pick, but I'm going with the dark horse pick of my own. I'm going to disagree and say Conestoga. They have an interim head coach, but they've got Tim Miller, very good pitcher, going to Richmond. And just for some reason, just my gut tells me that Conestoga will be in the mix there in District 1. But I like your dark horse pick as well. I like Wissahickon as well, but I'm going with Conestoga. All right, staying in the suburbs here, true or false? North Penn will repeat as 4A state champions.
This was a tough one. I'm going to go with false. They lost a lot of talent, but they're still bringing a lot back. Still have Mason Nadeau in the outfield. Great speed in the outfield, great speed on the base pass. One of their X factors will be Kadir Nami going to St. Joseph's. Didn't play that much last year, but 6'4", 240 pounds. If he can harness some of that raw power, he'll be very good. They got a new second baseman and shortstop, a freshman and a junior, and inexperienced pitching staff. Could be a very good season for North Penn, but I don't see a run in them.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to say false as well, and they'll obviously be in the mix. I mean, they're a very good team, but can they make that run all the way to the end in the state tournament? I'm not really too sure, for everything that you said. So I'm going to agree and say false. So it comes down to this fifth and final question. The best baseball player in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas is blank.
I think it's hard to argue with a Catholic League MVP, so I'm going to go with Joe Lancelotti. Going to UNC, he was 7-1 last year as a pitcher, threw a no-hitter, but even scarier thing, he's a better hitter and a better fielder than he is a pitcher. The Tar Heels are getting a great player in Lancelotti.
I agree with that statement, and I agree with your answer. I'm going with Joey Lancelotti as well. And I'm a big fan of Catholic League baseball, and Lancelotti almost single-handedly led Archbishop Wood to that Catholic League title, so I'm going to agree. And with that, Tyler, congratulations, you passed our pop quiz.
All right, I'm 1-1.
Tyler DeGiacomo, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Roy.
When we return, we will continue on with our Spring Sports Spectacular here on Varsity Voice, presented by SFBN.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Do you like pro sports?
Yeah.
Do you like college sports?
Of course.
Do you like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Hey, voice in the sky.
Huh?
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Just watch Varsity Voice every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN.
Welcome back to wrap up our spring sports preview. Wanted to talk about some softball, and Frankie, there's a lot of really good competition in the suburbs and in District 1, but have to mention at the top here out of Chester County, Avon Grove.
Yes, for the Inquirer preseason poll, they did have them at the top. They have their best pitcher, Oregon commit Maggie Ballant, leading them this year.
Yeah, you have to mention Avon Grove and that star pitcher in Ballant. You know, anytime you have somebody going to Oregon, that's, you know, a big school like that. That's definitely major headlines. But there's some other teams in the mix. You know, you look at Perk Valley, Neshaminy is always very good, CB East, CB South, Council Rock North, North Penn, and Souderton. Although they had a down year last year, they were the state champs 2 years ago, looking to bounce back this year. So a lot of very good teams in the suburbs. Now in the city, starting with the public league, Philadelphia Academy Charter defeated Franklin Town Charter in the championship last year, and I would have to think that they are two of the favorites this year as well.
Hey, absolutely, but it is still early in the year. You know, Northeast could come out and have a good year, and Central, they could try to redeem themselves because last year wasn't their best season.
Yeah, they really had a tough year last year after being one of the best programs in the public league for many years. In the Catholic League, anytime you talk about the Catholic League, Archbishop Bryan, you have to talk about them. They've won the championship a few years in a row now, but I think this year could be wide open.
Yeah, you know, Little Flower, they're not a team that's usually at the top, but this could be their year to surprise the league.
And I think head coach Dan Milio thinks that as well, and we had a chance to talk to him, as well as star first baseman and pitcher Tori Sherwood at one of their practices in Hunting Park the other day. I'm here with Little Flower Softball head coach Dan Milio, and coach, had a tough year last year, but I guess the good thing is you have a lot of your team back this year.
We certainly do. We lost our starting pitcher. We have a sophomore pitcher, Alex Dolan, who's going to carry this team. Tori Sherwood's her main backup. Our offense seems to be clicking early on, so yeah, I think we're going to be a lot better than we were last year.
And this year, I think many people expect the Catholic League to be wide open, maybe like 6 to 8 teams that could potentially compete for the title.
It definitely is. It's going to be a crapshoot. I want my team to play better the last 2 weeks of the season than they are the first 2 weeks of the season. Stay hot going into the playoffs, and hope for the best.
And Tori Sherwood, your star player, approaching a big milestone. And you started at Little Flower 4 years ago when she was a freshman. How cool is it to see her maybe put the capstone on what is a great softball career?
It's going to be amazing for her, for the program, but mainly for her, because it just shows her hard work, her dedication. There's a lot of kids in this league that have talent. Some may even more than her. But her softball IQ, I think, sets her apart from a lot of the other talented girls. She's never in the wrong position. Her base running skills, her offense is just, it's just a natural. She has a natural swing. I moved her from a 3-hole last year to our leadoff hitter this year because of she's my overall best player, but she's also the best base runner. And if I can get the bat in her hand one extra time a game, that was the plan going into the season.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Coach, and good luck this year.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm here with Tori Sherwood, star first baseman and pitcher for the Little Flower softball team here in Hunting Park. And Tori, you are potentially approaching a big milestone, something that only 4 other Little Flower softball players have ever done, 100 hits in a career. Are you thinking about that at all?
Kind of. I mean, I know I have right now 4 left, so kind of in the back of my mind, I just want to get the hits to reach it.
And you're a 4-year starter, and finally it's coming to an end. I'm sure as a senior, you want to finish strong and potentially win a Catholic League title.
Yeah, definitely. That would be the best goal.
And you have a pretty. Your team is came back from last year. I know you finished 8th last year in the Catholic League, but a lot of your team is back. Has last year's experience kind of helped you get ready for this run as a senior?
Yeah, I think so. I think our players came back a lot stronger than we were last year. I feel like everyone's in it to win it, and we're more together as a team.
And you'll be continuing your softball career next year at St. Thomas Aquinas Division II school in New York. How cool is that you'll be able to continue playing softball at a very high level in New York?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I look forward to the next 4 years, what it has to come.
Tori Sherwood, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Tori, obviously very good player, very confident, thinks her team can potentially make a run. But another team that I think has their eye on the prize is St. Hubert. They lost to Archbishop Bryan in the championship last year, and Hubert, another very good softball program in this area.
Yes, they do have a great program. Coach Dave Schaefer, he runs a tight practice that keeps them on their toes.
He really does, and he's got a very good player in shortstop Danielle Franks, and we had a chance to talk to her at one of Hubert's practices the other day. I'm here with Danielle Franks, star shortstop for the St. Hubert's Bambies. And Danielle, you guys got to the championship game last year, lost to your Northeast Philly rival, Archbishop Bryan. I'm sure it's your senior year. You're ready to get back there.
Absolutely. That's our main goal, to get back there, take it back, and show everyone what we're all about this year.
Now, talk about your team as a whole. Do you think you guys have the right stuff to get back to the championship and maybe even win the title?
Definitely. I'm very confident with our teammates this year. I know a lot of us have played together for a while, and the new girls who have come in, I'm very confident in them also. So I have a lot of hope for us and good aspirations.
I'm sure it's bittersweet for you. It's your senior year. You know, you want to make some noise this year, but you know, talk about your career here at Hubert's. I know you've been a 4-year varsity player, so talk about that.
It's been a great 4 years. I was a little nervous to try out, to be completely honest, but I've given it my best, hopefully. I'm really happy that I've been able to play here. It's a great opportunity.
And you're going to get an opportunity to play college softball as well. Is your decision made up yet? I know you're a senior. You have a commitment yet?
No, not necessarily. Hoping that I do get to play softball. I've been playing it since I was little, so I hope to continue it in college.
Sounds good. Danielle, thank you very much and good luck with your season.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it should be very interesting to see what happens in the Catholic League and softball in this area in general. A lot of spring sports going on, and we're covering a lot of it online on SFBN.
Yes, I'm excited to see everything that plays out this season, and be sure to check out everything coming up on the Sports Fan Base Network.
Well, that about wraps things up for this edition of Varsity Voice. And Frankie, there is so much going on in the spring. What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to following the Nomads rugby team. You know, I hope that the story, you know, brings a lot more people out to join the team.
Yeah, me as well. It was a great story, and looking forward to that. And I'm just looking forward to all the great lacrosse in this area. I just love lacrosse. It's really become one of my favorite sports to watch. Frankie, thank you so much for being here and breaking down the spring sports with us.
Oh, thank you for having me again.
For Frankie Stokes, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good night. Yeah, I just really love lacrosse. That Malvern Prep having the games is going to be awesome.
We got lucky because I know Pennsylvania.
Select video equipment for Varsity Voice has been provided by DMP Video. DMP Video. You provide the moment, we'll capture the memories. For more information about our videography services, please go to our website at www.dmpvid.com.
The Sports Fan Base Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is continually bringing you the most in-depth coverage. Join us for Varsity Voice every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN, where we'll have interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN for the best high school sports show around, Varsity Voice, presented by SFBN.